Hello everyone, Fast Eddie here. Thanks to all my subscribers. I hit over 20,000 somehow, so that's pretty awesome. And everybody who supports me on Patreon, shout out, what? So this video is going to be about a confidence building exercise. Either you're brand new, or you have a brand new bike and you're trying to get used to your bike, or you already know how to ride, but you want to get your skills, your low speed skills to the next level. There's one key thing all three of these things have in common to get yourself to break out of the plateau and get even better. And that's learning the clutch. So this exercise is no throttle, no brakes. You're literally only going to use the clutch to do everything you're about to do. So you're going to turn on the bike, you're going to start to go, and then you're going to start to ease out the clutch a little bit until it starts to get power. Once you start to go, you're going to pull the clutch back in. So 90% of the time you're going to be doing everything I'm about to do, you want the clutch pulled in most of the time. You just give it a little bit of power just to make sure you don't fall. But the idea is practice and try to really know and memorize and feel where that point is at, where you actually start to give power to the wheel, because that's the key thing for low speed turning. Or if say you're running a competition, doing a slow race, a lot of people do that, this will help you out dramatically. Because if you could start to figure out, I could use my body to practice balancing the bike and a little bit of the friction zone with barely any power. If you go 1 mile per hour the whole length of this parking lot, that's really good, because you're not using the power of the bike. You are just to get going a little bit, but you're just balancing yourself, and just a tiny bit of power balancing yourself. So that's the idea. Brand new rider, brand new bike, or you want to practice, or you want to get better at your low speed, learning the clutch will be really good for all of that. And keep in mind, because people have been saying it before, this is a wet clutch. It's bathed in oil. You're not going to burn out the clutch or wreck the clutch. And people are like, oh, good luck buying new clutches every 500 miles. It's ridiculous. I've had a CBR 1000 for 80,000 miles in 1 year doing all kinds of stuff like this. The clutch was never a problem. No issues, no damage. So unless you have a dry clutch like a Ducati, which they're not even making dry clutches anymore, then this probably is not going to be the best idea. But a lot of people confuse the clutch with the car. Like, don't ride the clutch, you'll burn out the clutch in a car. But this is a motorcycle. It's completely different. So all you want to be experts that think they know everything, you just don't comment. There's no point. So check it out. This is the exercise. And I'll do it on both bikes to demonstrate. No throttle. You can keep your hand on the bar, but you're not actually using the throttle. The whole idea is you get going a little bit, get going enough to where you can feel like you can put your feet up. And then once you do that, pull the clutch back in. And if you think the bike's gonna tip over, get used to that feeling of being uncomfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. So you're like, oh man, the bike has no power because the clutch is pulled in. Ease it out a little bit more, get a little bit of power, but try to keep your feet on the pegs as long as you can. Try not to put your feet down. See what I'm doing? So I'm starting to turn the handlebars. So when I turn the bars, it's just like a bicycle. If you get on a bicycle and go like this really fast, you'll actually start moving because of the friction and everything else. You're gonna start going. So I'm balancing the bike. There's hardly any power. Once I got going just a tiny bit to get my feet on the pegs, now I'm literally balancing the bike, I'm turning the bars. And if you could do that on whatever bike, you're gonna get comfortable very quickly. Again, zero throttle, you're at idle. No throttle whatsoever, no brakes whatsoever. It's literally you balancing the bike and using the clutch just 10% of the time. You use out the clutch, give a little bit of power, then you pull it back in. Most of the time, keep it pulled in, and you yourself have to get balancing the bike, turning the bars, everything else. That's the whole idea. So I'll do it a little bit more. Again, it's like, oh man, is the bike gonna fall? Bike. That's the idea. You want to put yourself in that situation where it's uncomfortable, but once you really get to know, man, if I feel like this bike's gonna tip in whatever reason, if I just ease out the clutch a little bit and give the bike a little bit of power, it's not gonna tip over. And once you realize that, know that, practice that, understand that, your low speed turning will be so much better, and your overall confidence on the bike will be so much better. Come up to a stop sign. You're not just gonna be like, oh, how am I doing? Right? You'll just be overall more confident on your bike. New rider, new bike, or experienced rider, just me practicing that right there, just what I did is good for me. Even though I'm a pretty good rider, because it gets me practicing. I don't do this too often, but I need to do it more, right? Try to go 0.5 miles per hour for as long as I possibly can with almost no power. Just me trying to balance the bike. It's very difficult. It's fun to practice. Told you. Get used to the bike. Where's the friction zone? Balance it with your body. Hardly any power, no throttle, no brake. Get going. Once you get your feet up, pull the clutch back in. Once you get used to doing this, and you practice it doing that, you really get used to that point, you practice it, it's really good, then you can start doing some really cool stuff. You can start to add throttle, keep the RPMs up like at 2,000, 3,000. Use the same thing you're doing, but now add some rear brake, and now you can start pausing and balancing the bike, and then going again. So again, this could also be a technique you use to get better at slow races, or whatever it is. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll turn around and check it out. So if you're a new rider, you have a new bike, or you just want to practice getting better and more comfortable with it, that's something to do that's really beneficial. Get used to that bike, get used to the feeling like, wow, I gotta turn the bars, that actually works. I move my position around. If I look straight down to the ground, ain't gonna work out too well. Maybe try to look a little bit higher. Maybe look parallel to the horizon, that might help you. But just get used to your bike and just be comfortable on the thing, right? It shouldn't be something you're afraid of to get on the bike, or afraid to put your feet on, or afraid of anything. If you're ever afraid, spend a lot of time here before you go out there and do way faster speeds, right? But get used to doing that. It's a really beneficial exercise. So thanks for watching, everybody. That's pretty much it. Get out there and practice, and see you next time.